Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for October 29, 2022, the World Series edition. Yes, the World Series has begun, and my beloved Houston Astros are back in it. I'm recording this Friday afternoon, so I don't know the score, but Game 1 will be in the books by the time you listen to this. Why did we start with the Astros? Not because of their cheating scandal from 2017, but because of the way they got back to this World Series, which was around great pitching. They did so by identifying players in the Latin American market that had been overlooked by others. So when your risk is great, your opportunity can be great. Please don't ever forget that from the compliance perspective, because your job is to manage risk. If your business risk is great, it turns out you may have a good business opportunity. So always remember that as a compliance professional. That story came to us from the Wall Street Journal, as does the next one. Mingy Sun in the Risk and Compliance Journal reporting that removing sanctions on the crypto mixer Tornado Cash won't be easy. Efforts to be taken off Treasury's sanctions list can be costly and time-consuming. So as advocacy groups are arguing that the crypto mixer should not be on the sanctions list, they often fail. While crypto advocates and companies contend Tornado Cash's sanctions infringe on personal rights, crypto experts say Tornado Cash may not be the best test case for that argument. So lots of controversy. We really need some regulatory guidance. Next up, a crisis in U.S. curling, of all things. Although I knew the U.S. had a curling team, they never seemed to win much. But that's not the reason for the crisis. The crisis is they hired Jeff Plush to be their CEO, and he was most recently the leader of the National Women's Soccer League, which is under huge pressure because of a systemic sexual harassment scandal by multiple teams under his leadership. Some large number of curling affiliates want him out and are going to disassociate themselves with the national organization. So reputation does matter. And our final story comes to us also from the Wall Street Journal, and that involves our friends at Credit Suisse, who have been in the news over the past 10 to 15 years for numerous legal and risk violations. Well, they've got yet another CCO, so we can only wish the new CCO better luck than the past CCOs. Go Credit Risk and go Astros. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.